Okay, let's continue with rigging our Chibi Robo using bendy bones for the. I think I'm gonna go with bendy bones here instead of the usual bone system, and then we're gonna change the entire thing to kind of bendy bone so we can rig with IK, so on and so forth. Okay, but I have to make some additions to this from the last time. I added some lids in case we need to. I didn't know that. I didn't see any video of the robot blinking, but just to show you how simple kind of like these rigs are. It's just it's just hemisphere. I mean, I didn't even bother fixing the back. It's just something you can kind of rotate. RZ. I mean, simple kind of, right? So just kind of added those. Basically, the same eyeball, scaled it, cut it in half, and then rotate it. All right. We do want this since we're setting it up for our armature. So let's kind of get this fixed now. They do have mirror, so let's apply the mirror, make it permanent on the mirror. Okay, apply, and then same thing with the eyeball. We do want them separate now, so apply. All right, and then we're going to separate them. Okay, so separate them is quite simple. Just go to edit mode, and then make sure that you have everything selected on one. Like on this one right here, I'm going to go Control Plus. Select all of the faces right there. Press P as in Popeye. Separate by selection. Then now we have two separate eyeball. Okay, and of course we got to name those. But let me turn on our so you could see what I'm doing here. It's tiny, but at least you can see the keyboard shortcuts there. All right, so that one. This is the. And I'm going to change its origin to the geometry so that it's not somewhere in there. Same thing over here. Set origin to geometry. Okay. This thing as well. We're going to separate this also. So I'm going to hit Tab, Control Plus on the numpad. Select everything. Press P. Separate by selection. I'll do the same thing for the lower eyelid. That's already been applied right there. So select Control Plus, select one part, press P, selection. Okay, so now these are all separate pieces. Now we got to name them. Okay, this one is the left eye. So we're just going to call it I.L so that we our naming convention. Okay, this one I.R. Okay, this one is the I upper lid dot L, I lower lid dot L, I upper lid dot R, I lower lid dot R. Okay, so just kind of keeping up with the maintenance, right? Another thing that I've noticed right here are the ankles. So, I've seen some photos where when this thing bends, it's like this metal just kind of just sticks out right here. So what I'll do is I'm going to duplicate the knee and then add it to that one. So we're going to add this part right here. It's just so that there's part of the foot right here that it's when it's kind of rotating and whatnot, it's doing its thing. That thing doesn't kind of stick out. Okay, so we're probably gonna make them a little bigger. All right, it just kind of looks better that it's just not like the shaft that's kind of sticking out. All right, so same thing here. We're gonna have to apply all the mirror. All right, so apply all the mirror so that it's all separate. All right, I mean, it's all combined, not separate. And we don't have to combine this here since we are doing paint weights with no automatic weights. All right, so we can just paint them. All right, that one's fine. This one. All right, so just selecting all the parts, finalizing the mirror so that it's no longer mirrored. Okay, and I mean we can do and separate those, but we don't really need to. It's just that we didn't name our objects here, so which makes it kind of funky when we select them, but you'll see. All right, so that one right there, that object, we probably want to separate these things. Okay, let's do that. So I'm gonna hit plus, control plus on the numpad. All right, press P and then selection right there, and then this one right here as well. So we just want all this kind of separate pieces. Selection, because they're going to be rotating on their own, kind of rigid. Okay. All right, let's make sure that that's the only thing that's being selected. So I'm hitting control plus, which is like a expanding kind of selection. All right, P selection. So they're all kind of separate pieces now. All right. Okay. Just checking for any more. All right. So this, let's just combine all this now. This one right here, Control J. Okay. So it's one piece. That's a separate piece. Let's just add this to the body, okay? Because that's going to be rigid regardless. Control J. So that's part of the body right there. So it's kind of call that body mesh. Okay. All right. Let's take a look here. I do probably want to extend this a little bit. Let's see. Do we have enough cuts? Probably. Yeah. Yep. Okay. So we'll leave that. I think we are ready now. So let me save this one. Give this a name. Robo Chibi subdivision. So we do know that this is the one with the subdivision, and I'm just going to call it ready for rig. All right, so we know that's ready for rig. Hit save. Okay, so let's start with the armature here. And I know we have a lot of objects we didn't kind of name, so let me just kind of name this one real quick. At least the major ones. Head, that's the, we got data here. That's the neck. All right. And all right, well, we can do the armature now. Okay, so we are going to start with the, we're going to put IK on the upper body and lower body, but you have that option to just do in forward kinematics for the upper body or for the upper arms or the arms, and IK for the leg. So I'm going to start with the front right here, and then I'm going to go to X-ray mode. I'm going to turn off the grid so it's a little cleaner, and I will leave the floor in there so we can see our axis. Okay, so again, before I do that, let me just kind of show you. This is dead smack center, right? The world. This is very important. Okay, that this thing is centered to the world, and yeah. Okay, so that when we place our bones, it's aligned to it. So let me turn those off again. Grid. Okay. All right, we're going to get an armature. Well, I'm in object mode here. So Shift A, armature. All right, so we're not going to rename that. That's the only armature that we have. So just remember that that's the armature that we're kind of using, okay? And since trying to think here if we need another bone right here just for this part, I think we're just going to combine that part of the body later. Okay, that is all going to be combined. So let me just do that real quick while I'm kind of here. So this one and then this one could Control J. Okay, so that's kind of like one piece. And then here for the neck, I only see this one kind of moving, so I think even the neck right here, the head is the one that's being controlled. So I'm gonna add the neck to this one as well. Okay, it's just kind of whole rigid. It doesn't move. It's the head that kind of moves, rotates and whatnot. The body over here, and then it's okay. So maybe even simplify that one right there. Okay, so those are all one piece right now. All right, so then that simplifies our bone placement. That it's going to start there at the very bottom. That's part of the what's being influenced, right? And then right here is we're going to go to edit mode. Okay, edit mode, and we're going to move this G and then Z, so that's locked all the way right there to the neck. Okay, because it's going to be rigid. Okay, if you're doing any kind of organic character and whatnot, then you, of course, you're going to have spines right here. Okay, but this is a robot. All right, so there it is. Our first bone right here. Let's give this a name. Very important that you give your the bones names here. So this one is the body bone. So we're just going to call it body. They'll be part of the armature here. So even if we have anything that's kind of similar to what's happening here, they're all going to be inside the armature. So there they have their own kind of, in a way, collection. So that's the body bone. Okay, let's take a look on the side. Make sure that that's also centered right there. All right, since we centered our body to the world, then we don't have to worry about this kind of orientation. Okay, all right, so next is we're going to create, let's say, the legs first. Okay, so there's several ways to kind of do this. You can do Shift A, and this is where the position of the bone that you will create. Okay, or you can all just duplicate. Let's do Shift A. Shift A gives you a new bone right there, and then there it is. So I'll just have to point it down. Okay, so this is the head, this is the tail on the top now. So let's just go like so, kind of position that where the sphere is for the hip bone. Okay, right there, and then this one goes to the knee right here, center. Okay, and so basically that's what we have. It's just this one right here. So I'll then move this one, GX, kind of match it right here. So that's our kind of like leg bone. Okay, if you look at it, there you go. There's the leg bone. So I'm going to go to the side here, right? When I'm on the side, I want to make sure here that this thing is, this is the front, straight, here, aligned to this one, right? So select this one, press E to extrude, or the way to the ankle bone. So this is where it's going to start kind of rotating, pivoting right here, center of that circle we added. Then E again for the foot. Again, this Chibi Robo, there's no toe bend, all right? So it's just one massive kind of foot like so. All right, so now let's start adding all the other elements here, right? So right here, if you notice, whenever we have this bone extruded like here, it says deform. So when that thing is checked, this bones will deform part of the mesh, right? But we also have to add some controllers here. So I'm gonna select this bone, this joint right here, press E, and G, so we go X on this one. Whoops, I lost that one. Let me click undo. Okay, I'm gonna press E right here. Okay, this is our controller. So this is what we're gonna grab to move the foot. Okay, so this thing is not part of the deformation, so I'm gonna uncheck that. Okay, it's not gonna be manipulating any parts of the robot. So it's just a controller, it's what you grab to move the foot. Okay, we're gonna need one for the knee as well. So we're gonna press E right there. This one does not deform. Okay, so we are also going to do our maintenance now. We're in edit mode to prepare for the IK setup. Okay, so let's unparent the controllers. Okay, so this one, Alt P, clear parent, and then we're going to move this one, GY, a little bit here. This is your knee controller. This is what will control the knee. Okay, and this one right here is the foot controller. We're going to leave this here though, but we have to separate clear parent. Okay, and this is the driver for the inverse kinematics, which is the foot. So we're going to separate that as well, clear parent. So I separated this and no deform on that one. This one with deform because this will deform the foot. Okay, this will deform the foot. And then that no deformation that for the knee. So let's give this a name. So that's the knee controller dot L. Right, the reason why we're giving it dot L is that we're going to symmetrize this later on, and it will just create a dot R naming convention. We don't have to rename anything on the other side, which is kind of cool. All right, so this is the foot bone, so foot dot L. Okay, this is the lower leg dot L. This is the upper leg dot L. This is the foot controller dot L. Okay, so everything is named. Foot controller, foot bone, foot controller, lower leg, upper leg, knee controller dot L. Okay, and this one we name as the body bone. Okay, so there it is. We are now ready for the IK. Okay, so let me parent this first. So this bone is going to be the child of this body. So we're going to select the parent last, which is this body. Control P, keep offset. Okay, make parent keep offset so that otherwise it snaps in there. Okay, so that one is set, and we're ready for the IK of the leg. Okay, so all the parenting, all the positioning, all the unparenting, naming, all in edit mode. Now we switch to post mode. Post mode is when we set up our IK. So to set up the IK for the leg, you select the lower leg right here. You go to the add bone constraint, okay, right here, and then we go select inverse kinematics under tracking. Okay, so I'm going to click on inverse kinematics. All right, so now it's going to ask, hey, which armature you want to use. We only have one armature right here, so the target is the armature. Which one is the target, the driver for the, it's this foot. So we're going to call this one foot L, right? Foot that L right there. So just to kind of test, press G right here. There you go. Okay, but when I'm doing this, you can see the body is being affected. It's like wobbling, okay? That's because we have to set up the number of chain that this will affect, right? So this is the foot, 1, 2, that's 2 chains. So we got to put chain length of 2. Let's check it again. There we go. So now that's working. All right. So now let's set up the knee controller. Okay, that one right there. So pole target. So this is what we call pole target. We just kind of call them knee or an elbow controller, just so, because it's what they control. But these are really your pole targets. Okay. So the pole target with this still IK. Remember the IK is still on its lower leg. I'm going to select the armature, it's the same one, and then it's going to ask, where's your pole target? We call it knee controller. There you go. And this one went wonky. It just went that way because we haven't set the orientation for Z up on any of this. So all you have to do when that thing kind of goes that way is you got to correct the pole angle until it's forward. So usually with this setup here, it's going to be negative 90 degree. Okay, and that's it. So let's check. Let's grab the knee controller and all right. Okay, so make it more obvious. We're gonna go like so, and then go here. All right, so I'm gonna press A to select everything, Alt G to reset all the position. All right, remember that one. Alt and then GRS. So if you did rotation, you want to reset it like this. Alt R, Alt G for any position. It goes back to the original edit mode pose. Okay. All right. So now let's go to our edit mode, and then let's make sure that everything is parented to where it's supposed to be. So right here, again, we're doing everything before we do a symmetrize, before we get the other leg, right? So this knee vector, we want this to always kind of follow this leg here. So I'm going to parent to the foot. Okay, so I'm going to select the knee controller. Again, edit mode. Edit mode parenting, not post mode, right? So select the knee, shift click the foot. You always, whatever your last selection is the parent. Okay, so shift, control P, sorry. Keep offset. So now wherever we grab this thing, this thing will follow in post mode, right? So, and this one is going to be parented to that, so that then keep offset. So when we move this one will follow. So let's take a look in the post mode. So when I go here, all right, so okay, the reason why we don't want to keep grabbing that as our controller, it's buried inside the foot. That's going to be kind of hard to kind of just click. So when you have something here, it's obvious, it's like sticking out. All right, that's good. Okay, again, we're not using any shape for the custom shape for the controller, because we want to keep the rig kind of simple. All right, and yeah, we're done with the foot. Okay, let's go to the upper arm here, or the upper body. Okay, so let's go here first. Make sure you're in edit mode. I'm going to select this, and then we're going to press E. Okay, and go up, and then Z axis. All right, so that's the head bone. That's the one that controls the head. Okay, so now we do want the eyes to follow the head, so they have to be parented to the bone. All right, so we can yeah, let's do that. So object, I'm trying to remember, did we parent the lid? Okay, let's just parent the eye for now. Yeah, we can just parent them to the head, not to the bone, because the head is rigid. It doesn't deform. Okay, so we can just parent those to the head right here. Control P, object. Okay, so meaning wherever we do with the head, they follow. Oh, I guess we didn't parent the lid. Let me do that real quick before we get too crazy. Okay, let's separate them. Okay, I thought I did. So this one, the lid, let's turn this up. So the upper lid and lower lid, shift click the eye, control P, object. Okay, so the wherever we go with the eye, the lid follows. Same thing here, object. Okay, all right. Did we set the origin? We'll worry about that later. They need to be rotating on the eyeball anyway, right? Not their own orientation. So let me click on doing that one. Okay, that's probably correct right there in the center. Okay, so now let's bring everything back. So this is the head. If we move the head, okay, all the parts follow, lid and eye. Okay, so that one's good. So let's go back to our armature here. For the we got the head. Okay, so now we're going for the shoulder right here. So I'm gonna go Shift A, get edit mode, sorry. Okay, Shift A, there's our new bone. Let's go grab it, and we're just going to position the tail where the elbow is supposed to be bending. Now the one right there on the elbow. We'll go to the top, make sure that's positioned right there. E to extrude for the wrist right there. Okay, and then we need extrude this for the claw right there, so we can kind of rotate it, and it goes that way. And then another one. Okay, this one is the hand controller, and then this one is the elbow controller. So I'm going to select this. This is the hand controller. Definitely no deformation. Okay, it won't deform it. Same thing with this one, which is the elbow. All right, so let's do our maintenance right here while we're in the edit mode. Alt P, clear the parent of this, and then we're going to move it back. about right there. This one right here, Alt P, clear the parent as well. All right, because we're going to be using this as our IK driver, and it's also the controller. All right, so let's go and name these things. Okay, so neck bone. Say neck. There's no designation because there's no left or right edges. Okay, this one we're just simplify our stuff. We're going to call this one upper arm dot L. Okay, this one right here is the lower arm dot L. Angle this one a bit. So this one is the elbow controller dot L. This is the hand controller dot L. Okay, and then we're going to call this one claw 1 dot L, claw 2 dot L. All right. Yeah, I think that's everything. All right, so let's save this now. The previous one is ready for rig, so we're gonna go sub the rig. Okay, let's set up our IK. So I'm gonna go to post mode. This is the IK, kind of like the lower leg right there. So okay, IK right there. I'm gonna go to the top, make it simple. Let's go to the constraint, add bone constraint. We'll add inverse kinematic. Okay, and we're gonna do our target armature again. What is the driver? It's the hand controller.L right there. Okay, we're gonna have 2 chains like before. Okay, our pole target armature. Which one's the bone? The elbow controller.L, and it went that funky kind of misalignment right there. So pole angle, gotta correct it, -90. All right, that looks good. So let's check it. So if I move this, there we go. Okay, and then that one controls the elbow. All right, so select both, Alt G, put them back. All right, so that one is ready, and then of course this one will create the thing. All right, and then next, now we got to set up the bendy bone. So it's going to be a little bit longer to do than this one. Then we're going to do our symmetry, and we should be good. Okay, edit mode. Select the this kind of shoulder, upper arm.L, shift click the body, Control P, keep offset, because when what we want here is this. So when we grab the body, okay, it goes. All right, there it is. Okay, let's go to edit mode here real quick. So we do want the elbow to be the child of the hand controller. All right, so that wherever we move this one, that kind of just, it's the same orientation, so it doesn't get left behind. Okay. All right, so that's that. Let's set up our, we can symmetrize now. Let me save first in case we, because the bendy bone sits right in the middle, and I don't want to create issues later on. Okay. So what I want to do here is select everything now. So, but I'm saving this in case this doesn't work. Like, what if the bendy bone doesn't like symmetry first? What if it likes like before you symmetrize it, you add? So just in case, I'm having a backup plan. All right. So edit mode, I press A, I select everything. Okay, and then I'm gonna right click and then simply symmetrize. We get all the other bones on the other side with their proper names. Look, here, .R, 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 and in post mode, it's already set up because before we symmetrize, we added everything. Okay, so bendy bone is next, but let's just kind of make our bone right here. Let's select the armature first, and make sure that on the armature right here we have our viewport display in edit mode. Let's bring the names right here so we could easily see the names. Okay, we want them in front. Yeah, maybe after. Okay, so let's go here and then just kind of select the object. Okay. All right, let's make sure here that the parts of the object, I'm just going to hide the armature real quick. All right, so this one right here, they should be part of this, okay? So that's Control J. All right, and I mean, we can even separate them. Let's separate them now. So I'm going to select to Control plus P selection. So now at least those are two separate objects. So this one and those should be joined together. Okay, let's separate them also. Select a polygon there, select another polygon there, and then Control plus with your numpad. You select everything, press P selection. Okay, the foot and that new ankle parts that we added, Control J, make that as a piece. All right, again Control plus P selection. So these are separate objects now. So that one is done. We already combined the body. So now this one and that one will be together. Control J. Okay, and let's kind of separate them. Select all the mesh. Control P selection. Okay, so this next one, the elbow, and this one and that should be a single piece. That's just kind of rigid, right? Let me think right here. So if we ever need to rotate the wrist right here, we can go with the controller. Well, okay, well, let's just kind of simplify this one. So that's just a single piece right there. If we ever need to separate that add a bone for the second its rotation, we'll do that, but for now it's just a single piece. Okay, and let's select one face from each one. Control plus, get all that selection, separate it. We already did the separation on this. This one is by itself, that one is by itself with the metal plugs all together. All right, and then I think we're ready for the bendy bone. Okay, so for the bendy bone, let's turn on our armature back right here. I'm gonna go to the right side here, and let's go with transparent. Okay, so for the bendy bone, select the armature. You have to be in edit mode. We're gonna add the bone. All right, so I'm gonna go Shift A. There's the bend. Okay, and then we're going to set that up right there, and then the head, we're gonna position it right here. So for bendy bone, you need two bones before and after it. So it's kind of like a base and a head kind of deal. All right, so there's one right there. Okay, and then we're going to extrude this for the length of the cable. All right, so I'm gonna go, okay, up to there is where the cable is. Should I go like that? Let's leave it right there. Okay, okay, and then another one, this will be controlling the entire plug, right? All right, right there. So let's give this a name. So this is the we're gonna call this one bendy mid or cable. Okay, this one is the bendy base. This one is the bendy plug. All right, okay, so now we have to change the and everything here will change to the bendy bone, which is fine. So I got it selected. We're gonna click this running man bone. Okay, we're gonna change the display to B bone or bendy bone. All right, so basically you get blocks instead of the previous one. Octahedral. What do you pronounce that? Octahedral. Okay. All right. So here's our bendy bone. We have our base, we have the cable, we have the plug. All right, so let's go to our bone setup here and then bendy bone. We're gonna need some segments, okay? So the more segments you add here, the better for the bending. All right, so I'm gonna go with, let's say 20. I would say that would be kind of enough. All right, right there. And as you notice, once I did that, it did some kind of deformation right here. So you can change your ease in. Okay, so I'm gonna change the ease in just a little bit or ease out to kind of compensate for that one. Let's see, but it might actually work. It's you know, I don't want to just kind of mess with that now. That might actually kind of work right there. All right, so now let's do our setup. So we have to have this one here as a separate one. So Alt P. We have to, are we in edit mode? Yeah. Okay, select this one. Alt P, clear the parent. Okay. This one right here, Alt P. Why is it not allowed? Should I have done that before we change it all to bendy bone? Maybe. Well, now we'll see. Okay. Post mode. Where did I mess up here? Well, that seems to be okay. All right. So just this one here. Okay. So now in order to, we need to make sure it this one it stretches to that. Basically, it's connected like right here. Okay, so we're gonna select this bendy plug, shift click the bendy cable while in post mode. Okay, and then we're gonna add the controller stretch to. So we're gonna do shift control C. Shift control C. So this is add constraint with targets. Okay, so again, let me do this. Select the plug first, then shift click the cable. So the cable is last. Okay. Then shift control C, tracking stretch to. All right, so now when we grab this, look, it now follows. However, we can't rotate this one. We need to be affecting this when we rotate it. Okay, so what we need to do is go to the bendy bone, okay, and then we're gonna get the start handle to absolute, okay, and the controller will be the bendy base. Bendy base, gotta find bendy base, there it is. Okay, and then for the end handle absolute, of course this is the bendy plug. All right, now let's take a look when I rotate. Yay, so that's what we need. So we could actually go like so, and yeah, so now we can animate the tail of the plug and even rotate it and kind of put it on top or whatever. Okay, so let's return this to Alt R, Alt G. Okay, and I think we're ready for our weight paint. Okay, which is not painting, it's assigning vertex group. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna turn off, we're gonna go to the object mode, we're gonna select the body now. Okay, and then we're gonna do our thing. All right, so let's select all parts of the body here. So I'm gonna press, let's make sure here. All right, so I'm gonna get rid of the camera and the light just so that when I press A, okay, we selected everything that is associated with bone and whatnot. Okay, so let me turn off the armature first. Okay, so I'm gonna select A. That's everything except the armature. All right, I'm gonna turn the armature back. Okay, I'm gonna go here to wireframe mode, and I'm gonna select shift click the armature. Okay, and then I'm gonna do Control P. That's how we combine the two together. Okay, well, okay, before I do that, let me click undo. Okay, I don't want the remember the eye, they're parented to the head right here. So, well, it wouldn't hurt. No, but they'll be controlled. Let me see. Okay, yeah, that will work. We can just add those because they're parented. Okay, so shift click the with all parts of the body selected, then shift click the main bone or one part of the armature. Okay, then Control P. We want to deform using empty groups. Okay. The reason for why we're not doing automatic weights is that this is a metal robot, rigid. Okay. If you do that, then it starts bending, kind of like it's kind of like imagine Voltron or any of the large robot where they put a human puppeteer inside. But we know it's not. You know, it's like, and it's made of rubber suit, and then you could see the elbow kind of bending. They're not really like rigid, like rotating as metal joints. Okay. So empty groups. When we do that, none of the objects are assigned to any particular bone. So that's why when we do this, when we go to pose mode and do our, let's say our bendy bone right here, all right, none of the mesh follows because we have to manually assign them, all right? But the good thing is there's no painting involved, all right? So let's go to object mode. This is how important it is to be naming all your bones, okay? So each time we go to a particular part of the body, then we go to our data property group right here. There's all this bone setup or bones that are related to or not related to, okay? So we have to go to, since it's a vertex group, we have to go to edit mode, go to vertex, which is 1, press A to select everything, and then we'll assign the body to the body bone, all right? So we do have the body bone, there it is, okay? We're gonna assign it, all right? But there's all these other bones that are not part of that one, so we're just gonna hit minus. So this is where it's gonna be kind of like a lot of work at first, but it'll be worth it, okay? So we got rid of any possible bones that would deform the body. So we only have body here and we assign all that. So now that is assigned. So let's just kind of check. I'm gonna select the armature, okay? Let's go to pose mode. I'm gonna select the body. As you can see, look, the body part is now part of that bone, okay? So let's go back to object mode and let's do work. So this is the part where you fast forward the video. Okay, so I'm gonna select the head right here. Okay, so select the head, edit mode, vertex, press A to select everything. Okay, and then we're gonna start deleting any parts here that's not part of it. So I'm gonna, and the thing is, if you accidentally delete, wait, did we call it neck bone? Yeah, that's supposed to be called head. So, okay, never mind. Yeah, so this is supposed to be named head bone, so it's neck. I'm gonna assign it, okay, and delete all this. All right, so that's my bad right there. Good thing I check. Otherwise, if I delete that, then I have to add the armature again just so that it pops up in there. Okay, so neck, that's supposed to be head. It's now fixed right there. Okay, let's move on to the next part. This one right here. This one. Okay, this is the upper arm .L, right? So hit tab, press A. We got that all selected, okay? And then we're looking for the upper arm. I'm gonna go to the bottom right here and then start deleting. Upper arm, assign, then the rest. Okay. Next, this one, lower arm, edit mode, select all the vertices. Lower arm, assign. Get rid of all those, okay? And this one, This is claw2.l. Claw2. Okay, let me .l. Claw2.l assign. Oh, undo. Did I do too much? No, can't undo it. Okay, so that's what I was talking about. So now I have to add this thing to the armature, and hopefully it doesn't mess it up because I already named all those things. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Select this part, then the armature. Okay. Control P. Empty group. All right. So man, I hope didn't double it. Okay. All right, it remembers. Yay. Okay. This one, of course, got to be careful now. Claw2.l. Claw2.l. Then here it's going to be. All right, claw2.l. This one. Select all the vertices. Claw1.l. Claw1.l. Assign. Then. All right, so that one's done. What else do we need? Legs. Okay, so select this one as A. We're gonna go with upper leg.l. Upper leg. There it is. Upper leg.l. And the body we get rid of. Okay. This one. Vertices. Press A to select all. Lower leg.l. Lower leg.l minus. Okay. Now here, foot.l. Assign. All right, let me just double check this one that I actually click assign. All right. Okay, so that's that. Let's go to this one right here. This is the foot R. Assign, then delete the rest. Okay. This is the lower leg.r. Lower leg.r. Upper leg.r. Assign. All right. What else? This one right here. This is the upper arm.r. Upper arm.r. Lower arm.r. Lower arm.r. Assign. And claw2.r. Assign. Claw1.r. Assign. All right, assign. And now for the bendy bone, this one, bendy cable. So bendy cable. Assign. All right. Let me check the body. All right, just want to make sure that part's there. Now finally the plug. Okay, so bendy plug, assign. Okay, and moment of truth, object mode, pose mode, select the body. Oh, we have to like that. Edit mode, bendy base, shift click the body, control P, keep offset. Okay, pose mode. All right. Okay, so the bendy plug, we want this parented to let's see, parented to the body, so it always follows the body. Okay, control P, keep offset. So hopefully that there didn't. Okay. Okay. All right. Oh, we didn't assign those. I can see them. They're left behind. Upper arm.L, lower arm.L. Okay. This one right here. Upper arm. Oh, there's supposed to be .L, and I put .R. Okay, never mind. Minus. Select this one. Yeah, that's. All right, I gotta redo this. Okay, so in object mode, select those two, shift click the body bone, control P, with empty groups, go here. Okay, so we're going to, got confused there. This is the upper arm.L, assign it. Okay, so minus. Upper arm.L. Assign, okay. This one, lower arm.L. Lower arm.L, assign. All right, hopefully that did it. Bone, pose mode. Okay. All right, so let's let me see here. Should I scale? Not really. Not yet. Okay, so let's just kind of make sure. All right. That one works. That one works. Okay, then let's do the arm right here. Okay. All right. Oh yeah, we gotta parent those to that bone. Yeah, we'll do that later. Let's check this first. All right, so everything works except for the eye, which needs to be parented to the bone right there. All right, looks like everything is working. So press Alt G, Alt R, save this, and all right. So the next one is I'm gonna look for anything that might be an issue, and then our last video for this one is just animate a simple walk. Okay.